A third illegal madrasa was demolished by the Assam government today. This action comes following the arrest of 37 persons, including the imam and madrasa teachers, linked with an Al-Qaeda module. It's serious. And yet the opposition is running down the bulldozer model. They don't want to raise these illegal constructions. The question is, why not? It's time to follow the bulldozer model if necessary everywhere. Let's debate.
This Markazul Ma'arif Kuryana Madrasa, located in Bongaigaon district in Assam, bulldozed with 3 JCBs. The structure was demolished.
So far we have arrested 9 persons, 3 of them from Tripura and 1 from our district and rest from Borpeta. Regarding Hafizur Rahman, that person has been arrested by Gwalpara police and he was working in this madrasa.
The third madrasa bulldozed after the Assam police busted the Ansarullah Bangla team and an Al-Qaeda terror module, whose epicenter was another madrasa in Barpeta.
The madrasa in question was built on this piece of government land, and it was this madrasa which was used by radicals like Mufti Saiful Islam in order to make the strategy of spreading the radical network across the state.
It's a hard-hitting crackdown on illegal madrasas and terror hubs.
So in the morning, we have evicted that madrasa. This is the second madrasa we have evicted because of the fact that those institutions were not running as madrasa but as a terrorist hub.
But the opposition is hitting out at the bulldozer operation.
लेकिन बुलडोजर चलाना बंद करिए, वो योगी जी का काम है. योगी जी ने भी कम कर दिया ना अभी तो. उनके ऊपर पूरी दुनिया से इतनी लानत पड़ी है कि उन्होंने भी कम कर दिया है.
Tonight, it's a face-off on the bulldozer model. Let's debate.
I believe one should not look at this in terms of a religious issue at all. Atikur Rahman and Tausif, you should look at it in terms of national security. If there is anybody, anything, a shop, an establishment, any place of worship, a school, anything which is linked to terror suspects, that also the Al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent, AQIS, the bulldozer is the least that should be done. I want Tausif and Atikur Rahman and Feroz and Jayanta Kumar Goswami of the BJP all to look at it from that angle. Why not? Why not, Tausif? Why should a madrasa where terror documents were found, where teachers were arrested for links with the Al-Qaeda of the Indian subcontinent, and which is also structurally unsafe? As per APWD specifications and norms, it has broken structural norms, right? And the Shaikhul Hind Muhammadul Hassan Jamiul Huda Islamic Academy was seen to be linked with the Bangladeshi terror suspects associated with the Al-Qaeda Indian subcontinent, AQIS, and the Ansarullah Bangla team. Do you realize how serious this is? Why don't you?
Anything, the case that you have put forward, Arnab, is that anything linked to terror suspect should be destroyed. If that is the case, Sadhvi Pragya, terror accused, why her house was not demolished?
I'm a member of parliament. So it's a plain hypocrisy. What is happening in Assam is that the Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, is facing corruption charges. Day in and day out, the Aam Aadmi Party is attacking Himanta Biswa Sarma, bringing all the material, because although he was with Congress then, he has now joined BJP. BJP made him.
This is standard politics. You need to rise above, and you need to talk about internal security. But you need to look at the internal security angle. I want Jayanta Kumar Goswami to come in. Who's from the BJP
Because we have
Assam?
no action. It's a
Jayanto.
hypocrisy.
Okay. Jayanto is coming in right now. Jayanto Goswami and Atikur Rahman, please. Jayanto Goswami and Atikur Rahman right now, please. Jayanto Goswami.
As you know that our state government has already dissolved the state madrasa education board and closed down all the government aid madrasa and converted it to the general educational institution. And after that, they went to the court, and the court also provide their judgment in favor of the government, stand of the government. Now what happened? In early March, so the government of Assam and the Home Department categorically took the operation against the jihadi, which is linked with Ansarullah Bangla and with the recognized Al Qaeda affiliated terror. And as you know that in Morigao district, in a women madrasa, one teacher of that madrasa, one mukti, he was arrested by the police and got the link with the Ansarullah Bangla. And he was the sole teacher of that madrasa, which is the women madrasa of that district, and that was constructed illegally in the government land, and therefore it was demolished by the state government. And after that in Bangaigaon, another madrasa which was constructed without the necessary provisions and norms and permission.
No, is this an anti-madrasa drive? The charge being made is,
yes.
Why is this an anti-madrasa drive? The attempt very clearly is to say that this is anti-minority. You are saying it's a national security issue out here. The point that the charge is being put here that it's anti-minority. Frankly, I don't see that when 37 terror accused have been caught, you see Atikur. 37. Ansarul Bangla, do you know it is one of the biggest terrorist groups in Bangladesh? Do you want one of the biggest terrorist groups in Bangladesh to have a base in Assam, on our soil? Atikur? And by the way, do you know that the government is taking different Muslim groups along and ensuring that students from these madrasas are accommodated in general schools? Do you know that? You won't talk about that.
Arnab, let me come in. Mr. Jayant's language lacks confidence. After bulldozing the madrasa, what facts will you place before the people in the public domain to prove that you had found some materials linked to terrorism? And that's why you're bulldozing an instant injustice, flies in the face of any facts.
Madrasas
your language, your behavior shows you have nothing to prove.
These madrasas were constructed without taking the proper permission. It is a violation, a clear violation under the law of Disaster Management Act.
So you are mixing up the issues now.
Regarding the madrasa of Morigao, it was constructed under the government land without permission.
Are you saying no? But what's wrong with what he's saying? What's wrong with what he's saying, Atikur? 1 minute. Firoz Bakht Ahmed, one point here, Atikur. I don't think he's saying anything wrong. He's saying anything illegal must be demolished. He's saying that the Barpeta Madrasa was constructed on government land. It is another matter that there are two terror suspects there.
Proof, sir, proof of terrorism.
No, 1 second. Do you realize that the Muhammadul Hasan Jamiul Huda Islamic Academy Madrasa in Barpeta was housing two Bangladeshi terrorists linked to the AQIS? Are you going to deny that? Al-Qaeda Islamic State, you want the Al-Qaeda to have a base in India? Yes, if it is illegal, it should be bulldozed. Should it not be bulldozed because it's a madrasa?
Yeah, bulldozing.
You're saying it should not be bulldozed because it's a madrasa. I want Firoz Bakht Ahmed to come in. What kind of logic is that?
Against the Supreme Court order on bulldozing. There is no
All right,
parity.
thank you.
What the
Thank
Supreme
you,
Court order
thank
said,
you very much,
that
Arnab Goswami
bulldozing
ji.
cannot be
And,
stopped,
Atikur
but
Rahman Saab,
there
please,
should be no partiality involved.
Atikur Rahman Saab, please let me have my word. You have had your term, Atiq Bhai. You are my younger brother. I respect you for your wonderful knowledge. Just give me a few words in the sideline. Now, Arnab, let me begin with the actual picture of Muslim education. Now, as far as Muslims of India are concerned, whether they are, 14%, they are 20, 25, 30 crore, their educational status is not very, I should say, encouraging. Now, most of these children, they study in these madrasas, and these madrasas, Arnab, and all the people who are listening to me, they are run on a shoestring budget. People, local communities, they help them with maybe eatables, with flour, with whatever, rice or everything. Now, one thing is very clear, Atikur Rahman Saab and my other friend also, any mosque, any temple, any khanqa or any madrasa, anything else, even if it is a school, if it is built on the government land or a private land for which the madrasa or any religious mandir has not paid, it has to be bulldozed.
Both are different
there is no way out.
Terrorism
Right?
and illegal buildings.
Just a minute. Let me complete.
You are mixing up the issues, sir.
Yes. Maybe, you see, No. You are. I am sorry to tell you. Sometimes you talk very sensibly, Atikur Rahman Saab, and again you come back to square one. Let me tell you one thing. However, let me add this thing. For the Chief Minister of Assam state, that if he is bulldozing madrasas, he should provide good schools for these children.
No, but what is Atikur,
you mathematics, geography, with sports, with all the facilities.
Yes, and I want to ask Firoz Babji, my simple question here is, how is it, how is the radical agenda helping Indian Muslims? How is the radical agenda, Firozji, helping Indian Muslims? How is it beneficial for the children? Please, Atikur, listen to me. Atikur, be reasonable. Be reasonable for the first or maybe second time in your life. Listen to me. Listen to me, Atikur. Atikur, listen to me. Atikur, you are shouting without any necessity.
Listen to me, Arnab Saab, Atiq Saab, listen to me. In 8th century, there was a very renowned Muslim scholar and Imam. His name was Imam Ghazali. You know what he said? He said, if Muslims will not destroy, terrorism, terrorism will destroy Muslims. Arnab, let me complete, please. In 8th century, Islam is 1450 years old. There was one Imam Ghazali. In 8th century, there was some terrorism in that time also. You know what he said? He said, if Muslims are not going to destroy terrorism, terrorism will destroy Muslims.
What is...
Right. So, nobody has the right to run a madrasa or any school, any temple, any church on a land which belongs to the government. And the only fate it will face is bulldozing. It has to be pulled down to the ground.
Atiq and Joyanta, I'll take you off screen for a moment. And Atiq, think about this. Viewers, I need you to think about it. I need you to think about it. A madrasa is for children, right? Okay, Atiq, you are not going to a madrasa, no, children are going to a madrasa. I am asking today, Joyanto, how is it beneficial for the children of a madrasa which is being run by one Mufti Mustafa who is running a sleeper cell for the Ansarul Bangla team? I would be worried at the influences on the children. I would be concerned, Joyanto, about the children's future. The Tinkonia Para Madrasa, the Imam there was acting as a conduit for the ABT in Assam. Jamiul Huda Madrasa Moriabari, it is being run by those suspected to be working with links to terror organizations, Ansarul Bangla. Do I want, Joyanto, I am from Assam, but I say this, do we want, one minute, don't shout, do we want Assam to be a base for Bangladeshi-based terrorist organizations? Can you guarantee the security of this country? If this is your attitude, rise above. Rise above. I want Joyanto to come into the debate. Joyanto, you heard him.
Will agree with your facts.
the Assam cannot be the ground for Islamic terrorism, cannot be the ground for jihadi. First of all,
No
our Chief
Indian
Minister
territory
stated
is open for grounds for terrorism, sir.
these children
Jayanta,
should be
Jayanta.
protected.
Jayanta, allow
They
it.
should be
Jayanta.
they should convert to the general schools for general education. They should learn science and mathematics to become the doctor and engineer. And our Chief Minister is clear stand on this regard. And the madrasa, those madrasa, although the government madrasa was where now it is not in operation. All the children, those are studying in the government madrasa. They were converted to the general school for learning mathematics, science, and other subjects like other students of Assam. And the agenda of our Chief Minister is that to protect the children of the minorities. At the same time, those private madrasas which are still going on without taking permission from the proper authority, and they are engaged with the teachers of that madrasa, the Maulvis. Those are engaged with the Ansarullah Bangla and all other Al Qaeda affiliated terrorism. It should be stopped. The government stand is very clear. Nobody can create Assam as the foundation or as the house of
Viewers,
the
one thing is clear, Atikur, let me say this, and I think everyone will agree with me on this. That like Yogi Adityanath, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma is someone who is absolutely uncompromising when it comes to issues of tackling terrorism and national security, and that is maybe why Tausif has such affection for him. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for joining me on this debate with the promise to see you tomorrow sharp at 9. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, good night and goodbye.